Wait for the late Latifs to come in. I should start. We've made up some time with the fact that you've come on back in after coffee so quickly. You know, throughout the sessions, both the sessions in the morning, the categorical ability to be able to link HR prerogatives with business outcomes is something that has been echoed by all of you over the last couple of years, and it was reinforced by our guest speakers of the morning that HR has to get driven and is driven by business outcomes, and business outcomes in themselves then in turn feed back into the decisions that you will take as heads of HR. A core ability to be able to define how successful you will be lies in your ability to actually differentiate on the basis of data, analytics, and technology. Even now, we've all heard of the term the algorithmic CEO. Organizations today that are doing well are doing so on the basis of almost mathematical precision. So we're in a very funny phase. We've got all the soft skills that are fundamental, and then we've got all this need for very hard capabilities that we need to possess that will enable us to deliver on our promises. I'm very pleased to be able to welcome a gentleman that truly believes in what I call this brave new world that someone like me understands very little of but respects completely. Virender Aggarwal is the Chief Executive Officer of Ramco Systems. Outside of the fact that he runs his own organization, he's one of those chief executives who really believes in partnering with HR. At a discussion earlier today, he was saying, I spend 5 minutes with my CFO every week, but I spend 2 hours every day with my head of HR, because at the end of the day, it is talent that will drive the future of my business. Compliance and cash flows, etc., are things that will happen in any case if my talent is doing what it needs to do. His perspective is always interesting because it is a mix of his own personal experience as chief executive of one of the fastest growing cloud ERP companies in the country, and it is driven also by his extensive interest. He reads all the time, and he engages with all of you in his role both here and globally, and so his opinion is always very, very informed. I have always enjoyed his presentations, and I have no doubt that you will as well. I'm looking for him. I am now going to ask him to take the stage, and as I do that, please join me in welcoming VA to the forum.
Thanks, Radha. So one thing I must say, that I'm not very qualified to speak on the topic of HR analytics and in HR in general, but I'll just share with you my personal experiences of running the business, the way we think it should be run with matrices. So, see, Peter Drucker says the communication takes place only if person is shaken out of the current mode of thinking. So there may be a bit of shock value in what I say. That's just more to jolt everybody from the status quo that all of you are used to. So the first one is those of you how many of you are MBA here of some kind? Okay, so this will shock you. So, I mean, this is actual statement appeared in Fortune magazine, Alibaba.com, also quoting Ram Charan, algorithmic CEO. The concept is very profound. I don't know how much can I explain, but essentially what he's saying is if something is running well, leave it. And this is something we would believe is meant for, let's say, the pricing engine. If Flipkart runs a pricing engine, compares with Snapdeal and automatically changes the price and so on, so that you don't lose it on price, or an airline does the price by trawling the website of 10 other airlines and adjusting its price. It's not only that. He is talking of adjusting the organization structure, organization vision, and products and many other things based on the market dynamics as they see every day. So just to explain, if you are, say, Kishore Biyani and you face the problem of e-commerce guys hogging a lot of your business away, and you decide, okay, I want to be doing both brick and mortar and online. And then you keep fine-tuning your model based on customers come to the stores to try out something, but they still buy online, and where it gets delivered from, and so on and so forth. So continuous change based on what the market is telling you. So don't worry, this is not to do with an MBA, just that the markets will define everything. And in his case, and we must respect him, it's $230 billion market cap, 4 times more than any other Indian company right now, and all created in the past few years. And if you see Yahoo's market cap is only because of their investment in Alibaba, for no other reason. Now, just elaborating a bit more, see, earlier what used to happen is you sold something and your salesperson visiting the distributor will get some feedback and they will pass on to the territory head, the region head. If at all the communication ever reaches you as product manager or CEO, you will see and possibly do something about it. And if continuously you keep getting such feedback that your product is crap, maybe you do something after a year or so. But right now you do something. Let's say I'm an airline, I launch an online booking app. Within a week I know what people have to say about it online. You log on to one of the not so famous airlines in India and see what the people have to say about the app, and you will know what it means. Okay? So you get direct feedback, immediate feedback. If you're willing to listen, it can speed up your decision making without the hierarchy of people traveling up and down and this. Within 2-3 days, you start seeing what people are saying about your app. What is the score on that front and so on. So what about your website or anything else? So you are getting enough feedback on a continuous basis, and that helps speed decision making, cutting layers and layers of management in between. So we are talking of much more flatter organization because the information doesn't travel like this. So if I need something from finance department, it's no longer I'll talk to my boss, he in turn will talk to department head, and then like that. It doesn't happen like that. Just people, we will show how people talk to each other nowadays. Now on algorithmic stuff, this is the scary part since it doesn't affect so much in India right now, so maybe we are not so concerned, but most of the call centers are getting eliminated by automated voice response systems which are fairly intelligent. If you see Skype today, if somebody is speaking in Spanish, it can translate in real time to you in English while your person is speaking Spanish, you are hearing English. Okay. So that's the capability in Skype today. So that's the level of things which it has reached. The algorithms decide what's your airline price going to be, what's the price of your goods going to be, because you're competing with competition which is changing every minute something, and you need a response in real time, and you don't have a time of making a decision by, you may have 30,000 items, you can't decide any longer on what competition is doing and how you need to react, maybe the algorithms do for you. So those of you who have interest in this is the fastest growing field, fastest funded field called deep learning, machine learning, the rebirth of a language called R, which has been taught for 30 years, but now it's suddenly becoming popular because it allows you to do all that, and more simplistically put, big data. And these are some of the algorithmic organizations which run their business. They are born in a mathematical era. They run their business through algorithms, and they have generated huge amount of value, and Amazon is right now disrupting just about everybody, including the likes of Etsy, which took pride in having artists display the goods on their website and sell through them. Even they are messing up with their business model as well. And these are all driven by algorithms and mathematics. So today morning we talked about risk, compliance, and so on, and you heard my reaction to that. And most organizations are designed to minimize risk, not maximize freedom and speed. And in the process, they become very compliant organization. Remember, everybody's future is a great threat. If you have heard of Bitcoin, financial industry might be under threat with them. Lending.com, peer-to-peer crowdsourcing of money, a lot of that stuff is going on. I mean, if that auto driver is getting disrupted by Uber, then who is safe anymore? So the organization, if you're designed to only worry about risk, then you are at risk, without doubt. Because if only thing you're thinking is risk, then you are, and trying to be compliant. See, the topic is differentiation. Differentiation to win. Compliant people can't differentiate, So in our team, we are saying that innovation is not happening in our aviation team. So I asked one of the young grads, will you color the hair orange and come next week? Just to make a point that, it's good to be different. good to try out something different. We need people who have ponytails and wear yellow trousers or red, pink trousers to office, because we need to bring in some diversity of thinking, otherwise we'll all think alike. So we just copied a bit from Google's handbook or Eric Schmidt presentation on how Google is run. So in organization, information is hoarded. For example, if you are a bank, and if you run a credit card there, you will find it incredibly difficult to get any information on the savings the person holds with you, or a housing loan the person has taken. Everybody is a silo. Everybody keeps information to themselves. It's incredibly difficult to have a single 360-degree view of customer, even today. There's so much technology having gone, because everybody hoards information, keeps it to themselves or the departments. Deliberation is a virtue. Somebody today was saying A, B, C. C is definitely you can't do. A is something you can do. B is doubt. So just get 5-10 people, build a consensus, and take a consensus decision. So in that case, deliberation is a virtue, like our government, nobody takes a decision because central vigilance will come after them, or what's that, CAG, why you took the decision. So no bureaucrat takes any more decision because, and I get as many signatures on the file as possible. So if corporations also run like that, then you become like Indian government. Your deliberation is a virtue. The more people think on a problem, I mean, it's not bad for more people to think. Like we post every design on Yammer. The whole company can comment on it within 2-3 days. The entire company can think. That is deliberation. But we are not calling meetings, committees, and so on and so forth of 20-30 people. If you spend more than 4 hours a day in meetings which have more than 8 people, then your engagement score is likely to be extremely poor because you're getting bored, sleeping through. But nowadays, the virtue of mobile phone, you can keep texting messages and stuff like that. At least you can keep yourself partially busy. And decision making is in the hands of few people. Few people decide, and I mean, there is no so-called democracy at work because the boss knows the best. So all the organizations are designed to be slow. And you know what happens when you're slow. This is the Roman Empire fall. So the classic organization is like command and control, one person, span of control 8 people, more people, and so on and so forth. That's a classic organization. And the Roman Empire fell because it was basically built on classic fault lines. And similar fault lines are evident in today's corporations as well. Just talking to somebody, if somebody is from IBM, may take a bit of objection, but IBM also has an ethics and compliance department, which is not very different from our CVC in government. Just see how scared an employee is to take any decision because you're worried this ethics team will come after me because I can't spend more than $25. I have spent $75 on a customer dinner now. So modern day organizations, communication, something looks like this. So this chart is built using by a company called Volumetrics. Volumetrics measures the interactions. So we in our company use a tool called TrustSphere, which tells us how the interactions are going on. It also tells how interdepartment collaboration is taking place, whether your sales person ever talks to the customer at all or not, or whether your customer services rep ever responds to the customer's complaints or not, including the Twitter feeds that come and so on and so forth, whether you people respond to that or not. So that's how the communication takes place. Thousands of communications across various departments. So now if I need information from my design team, I will just send a mail directly to the person. At my level also, I would not bother to sell to nor mark a copy to the CC, the design head, this, that, and so on and so forth. So maybe there's a lot of insecurity in the design head is talking to next level down without informing me and so on and so forth. But the fact is that you want to get the job done and not be necessarily caught up in the protocol. So, somebody talked about the HR. Why I'm showing this image is because the HR thing is that everybody feels that HR is the agony aunt. You go and cry all your problems to them, and so on and so forth. The warm, cuddly, soft feeling. We are dealing with people issues. We can't be measured, of course.